Ross Gerber says the Model Y is like a Prius now. Rivians are sweet. So Farzad said, tell me you don't understand the company without telling me also Rivians. I'm not entirely sure, but one possibility is that Ross simply meant that the Model Y is really good. It's so good that it is extremely common in LA now. So that's one reason why someone would not want a Model Y. Everyone has one. And Ross made another comment about Elon Musk. I haven't seen anything like this before from him. Clearly more of an idiot than genius. But it looks like Ross regrets some of the things that he said. He deleted one post. Here's the deleted tweet. It seems that Ross understands himself that he overreacted a little bit. All of this drama happened because supposedly Elon is an anti-Semite, but I think he made it very clear before that he is pro-free speech, but against anti-Semitism of any kind. And Elon specifically does not like ADL. So it appears to me that people are conflating the two and people think that Elon hates the Jewish people. No, that's not the case. He just dislikes ADL because it tried to, according to Elon, destroy Twitter. And Elon said that ADL falsely accused him of being an anti-Semite. But Elon gave a factory tour to the Prime Minister of Israel, so yeah, if he really was an anti-Semite, why would he do that? Because Ross said that he would be replacing his Tesla Model Y with a Rivian, many thought that Ross Gerber is about to sell his Tesla stock position. But we actually know that not only did Ross not sell Tesla stock, he actually increased his position by 1%. He bought more shares. So this whole situation, to me, seems a bit confusing. Ross sounds so bearish about Tesla right now, but yet he's actually buying more Tesla shares. Ross sounds really bullish about Rivian, and interestingly, Rivian was down yesterday as well, actually even more than Tesla stock. And I think this sums up the whole situation so well. I had two separate people ask me, did you see Elon is tweeting anti-Semitic things again? And I said, oh no, what did he say? And they said, I'm not sure, but I saw the headline. This, of course, still potentially impacts Tesla stock and to some extent maybe Tesla as well, because many people just read the headlines. That's the game. That's the narrative that they are trying to create here. Elon is an anti-Semite. But I think over time, people are becoming smarter and they understand that you cannot trust the media. For the record, says James, I don't think Elon is racist or an anti-Semite, but it doesn't matter what I think or what he thinks. What matters is, as Tesla's CEO, he has no business sticking his nose into this narrative to begin with. There's literally nothing to gain from all of this. But we all know that Elon is gonna do what he's gonna do. So I personally learned when Elon makes comments like this and Tesla stock goes down, I learned to buy more Tesla stock on days like that. When last year in December, many people were calling for the end of Tesla. And we're saying that Tesla is not going to do well because the brand has been permanently damaged because of Elon's remarks. I bought Tesla stock. I'm not saying that things like this do not affect Tesla's brand at all. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is that buying Tesla stock last year close to $100 per share was a great decision. And I believe 10 years from now, looking back to today, we will say, oh yeah, buying Tesla stock at this time also was not a bad decision. That is, as long as you can stomach the volatility, because Tesla stock could drop 50% in a very short period of time. You just never know what you're getting exactly. And I agree with Farzad here 100%. There will be a percentage of folks who will never buy a Tesla ever again because of Elon's stances on issues. Compare that to the percentage of the global population that will ride in a Tesla as its cost per mile plummets below the cheapest gas-powered cars. Layer on FSD, which pie is bigger? Also, if you remember that survey from Bloomberg, we learned that actually not many people left Tesla because of Elon's comments. There were some people like that, but the number is surprisingly small. Regardless of that, in the very long term, I don't think this is really as big of a deal as Ross makes it to be. With Elon, you get the bad and the good definitely outweighs the bad. And I want to push back against James here a little bit. We don't see other Tesla executives or other company CEOs expressing free speech the way Elon does. Why? Because they have a responsibility to their employer not to damage the company's reputation. they have fiduciary duty. Apparently, it doesn't apply to Elon because the Tesla board of directors is toothless. Now, if the board really pushed Elon not to say these things, I think Elon would just eventually resign. So I don't think that would be a good outcome. Does that mean that Elon gets special treatment? Yes, it does. And do I have a big problem with that? Well, the good outweighs the bad. So no, I do not. Who else would you rather have as the CEO of Tesla? Mary Barra? No. And looking at Apple, as good of a job as Tim Cook has done, I think if Steve Jobs was still around, Apple would have been a much bigger company by now. You might have actually seen a good Apple car. So no, I am definitely taking Elon over anyone else. And yes, I expect a lot more drama from Elon in the future. That's just a part of being a Tesla stock investor. And anyone who has a problem with Elon's tweets, they should switch to Lucid. I mean, the Saudis would never make any tweets that would even remotely be anti-Semitic, right?
You know, he's not just the CEO. I mean, he's the founder and builder and face of the company. But many companies, their founders, their time comes and they move on. I don't know if that's the time now, but it sounds like you're saying that Tesla might be a better company in terms of just the way people react to its product and maybe to its stock if Elon Musk, who built it up, were to perhaps step aside.
You know, the truth is, Sully, he already has stepped aside. This isn't about me calling for him to step aside. He has stepped aside as CEO of Tesla. None of his actions are for the benefit of Tesla at this moment. It's all about Twitter and what he can tweet and how many people he can piss off. He actually thinks in his weird world that the things he says matters. But what he's really doing is destroying everything he's built. And that's the super frustrating thing as a shareholder. And just as an investor, one has to look out at the long-term future of Tesla and say, if the CEO is willing to do all this stuff and nobody can stop him, founder, whatever you want to call him, well, what's going to happen to Tesla over the next 10 years? Are they going to achieve their mission if the CEO isn't actually the CEO? Because he's certainly not acting as the CEO of Tesla.
So Elon doesn't do anything anymore that benefits Tesla. For example, this really hurt Tesla that throughout the summer of 2023, Elon Musk spent hours each week, working with his team to design each station on the line, finding ways to shave milliseconds of each step and process. This is about the next generation vehicle. I would like to ask Ross, how does that not benefit Tesla? Or how does it not benefit Tesla when Elon Musk live streams of his D12 for the first time? How does it not benefit Tesla when Elon Musk goes on the biggest podcast in the world and talks with Joe Rogan, who raves about Tesla and the Tesla Cybertruck? Clearly, no CEO would go on the biggest podcast in the world to talk in front of millions and millions of people to promote their company. So Ross Gerber has a problem with Elon really disliking ADL. And I have done a little bit of research and I thought this was a fake screenshot at first, but then I went to Wayback Machine myself, which is a website that allows you to look at the history of someone's website, and this is what ADL had on their website not a long time ago, actually. This is their definition of racism: the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. In other words, based on that definition, there cannot be racism against white people ever. Maybe someone should delete this whole Wikipedia page about documentation of white people having been enslaved throughout history multiple times. I personally think that racism is prejudice or discrimination against any race. And Elon said the truth is that we are all descended from slaves because throughout history the vast majority of people have been enslaved in one form or another.